All right, everyone. So, in this video here, yes, I just got this in today, and yes, I bought this with my own money. Um, Ironically, for me having a YouTube channel and making quite a bit of Atari related videos, I'm kind of surprised no one from Atari like hit me up when it comes to it's like, hey, you want to check this out? Here, take this, make a video about it. Because I have a actually I have two Atari VCS consoles, the 2600 Plus, which I never got around to making video. I may actually do a video on that. And I also got the Atari 2600 limited edition themed G Field kit, and now I got this. So basically, what this is the new Atari 400 Mini, or the 400 Mini. This is actually from a company called Retro Games. And if you're not aware of them, they're the guys that makes other mini consoles when it comes to like the C64 and other types of miniaturized 8-bit style computers. So I don't know like the all of the back end details with this. Most likely Retro Games was in the process of making this. And then I guess Atari went to them and it's like, hey, let's do like an official Atari official product based off of this. So I'm guessing that's how it happened. Nonetheless, we have the 400 Mini from Retro Games that's Atari branded. So let's go ahead and open this up, see what it is, or see what we get here. Now I did get an extra controller. It's not really necessary to have to buy one of these extra controllers just because it is USB based. You can actually use other controllers. So you don't have to use the joystick. In fact, you can use other more modern controllers, even if you have controllers for the Atari VCS. So like the classic controller for the VCS or the modern controller, it would actually work on this too, which is actually kind of neat. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and open this up. I'll put this one to the side. I don't know if it's really worth opening this one up just because I have the same joystick in this one. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and open this up. So there is a tape here. Actually, before we do that, let's take a look at how the box looks like. So that's the box here. And it's actually a pretty small box, which kind of makes sense. It's supposed to be a miniaturized console. Here's the top here. And these are the different systems that this thing actually supports. So obviously it's going to be the Atari 400, the 800, the XL, the XE, and 5200 games. That's actually really, really cool. I like it. Oh, by the way, one cool thing about this too is that yes, there are built-in games in this thing, but you can actually load up with your own ROMs with a USB thumb drive. But because they know that, they did have to put a little clause in here where it says game files must be legally obtained. Yeah, they put that just to cover their end, but they basically know that everyone that gets one of these things, they're just gonna go online, download files, and use it that way. So, but yeah, these are the content section here, and then this side here gives you the different features. And from my understanding too, if you use the, I believe it's the classic controller for the Atari VCS, if you plug that into this, it actually unlocks games on here too. So, in some ways, there is some perks by having other official Atari products to use for this thing too. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside. This thing actually retails for like 130 bucks. And I think the controllers are an additional 25, $30. So say whatever you want about the pricing of this. I don't really see this thing though as like a high volume seller either. So it kind of makes sense why they price it this way. But let's go ahead and open this up. Ooh, cool. All right, so here's the joystick controller and here's the console itself. So, all right, so it's in its own little tray here. Let's see what else we have in here. So, yeah, we have the quick start guide here. And of course, in here, it's obviously the controller. Now, what's actually cool about this too is that because this is USB based, you could theoretically just use this on your computer. So you can actually use this. This actually feels pretty different, this joystick. You know what I'm going to do also, because I do have the 2600 Plus, I'll grab one of those controllers and see if there's a difference. But I can already tell this does have a difference in terms of feel. One other thing about this controller I should mention is that, actually, before we continue, let's see what's in this one. This should be all the cables. Now, one gripe I do have with these things, especially with these newer versions now, is that they give you... That's actually cool. Actually, I do like this detail that they did here. So the cables are near color matched with the system itself. That's actually cool. That's a nice little detail. They could have just used generic black ones, but no, they actually went the extra mile and gave you basically color matching cables to the system. That's nice. Yeah, USB-C, and of course HDMI. I have plenty of these around, so I don't know if it's really worth opening those up. But going back to this controller, one thing that's actually kind of cool about this is that not only you got your regular joystick, you got your action button, this ring here also acts as a four-way directional D-pad like style controllers. So you got a button here, 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 and here. It's very faint, but you can actually feel a click. So kind of a neat way to like keep the style of the original controller itself in place, but adding more functionality to this design. And of course, back here, there is an additional button right here. And you have two buttons here, though they're unlabeled. So maybe it's like a start and select, or maybe like a start and a menu button. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But nonetheless, you know, feels solid. They call it the CX stick. But yeah, it is USB based, so theoretically you could use this on your computer if you want to emulate like 2600s or other older Atari style games. And it is kind of a nice thing that you can buy these separately, so if you're not interested in the system itself, but you do want a newer Atari controller for your computer, you can actually just buy this, and there you go. So here is the mini console itself. A little bit of weight to it, not too heavy, but a little bit of a weight to it. Yeah, this is obviously for show. Obviously a non-functional keyboard. Actually, that would be kind of funny if this was a functional keyboard. That would actually be pretty funny. But yeah, front here you got 4 USB ports on here. In the back, USB-C, that's most likely your power. HDMI, most likely the power button, and an additional USB port in the back here. And that's pretty much it. So theoretically, what you could do. Oh, wait, I just realized. That's actually kind of cool. The USB plugs are Atari brand. Is this the same way with this? Yeah, it is. They're actually Atari branded. What about this HDMI cable? Oh, that's neat. So even the HDMI cable is Atari branded. That's actually cool. But yeah, so before we continue, the let me grab the other Atari controllers I have just for comparison. All right, so I grabbed the other controllers I have. So this one here is the one that comes with the Atari 2600 Plus. So this is more to be an exact recreation of the original 2600 style controller. And yeah, this stick is different from this. So this has a looser click style joystick, whereas this is a more stiff, but you can't really feel any clicks or anything. So this is more designed to mimic the original style controller, whereas this is more like an improvement of the original style. And then this one here is the classic controller for the Atari VCS system. And obviously, this is much more loose. Now, if you're not too familiar with these, it is a Bluetooth style controller. You do have your action button here. One thing that this does do is that this stick here, you can actually twist this around to be more of like a rotary style controller. So that is something to keep in mind too. Obviously, you do have an additional button here, and you have your back and like a select button, and then your Atari basically home menu button for the system. So these are basically the different styles. Now, one thing you can kind of tell is the base itself on this one is actually slightly bigger, whereas these two, they're basically the same size. But I also notice the plastic on these are slightly different. Actually, in terms of weight, they're actually kind of similar. But yeah, those are the different controllers. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to make a separate video or just splice in the video of me using that thing and see what happens. So yeah, apparently the reason why they designed this particular controller this way is because there are games that will use multiple buttons. So we'll have to see how well this works out. Now, one thing I do want to try. Let's see what games are on here. 7 Cities of Gold, Star Raiders 2, Wavy Navy, Yoop, I think that's how you say it, Airball, Asteroids, Basketball, Battle Zone, Berserk, Boulder Dash, Bristol's, Capture the Flag. Oh, okay, this is like a 3D style game. Okay, that's cool. Centipede, Crystal Castles, Electric Glide, Encounter, Flip and Flop, Henry's House, Hover Bover, Lee, Mule, Millipede, Miner 2049er, Missile Command, O'Reilly's Mine, and we're back to 7 Cities of Gold. Now, what I'm going to do also is plug my Atari VCS Classic controller and see if I get those 2 secret games. Maybe it needs to boot up with this thing connected. Oh, there it goes. Super Breakout. So that's one of the classic ones. And there's supposed to be another game. This one. Castle Crisis. Alright, so I did get the 2 games. Now the question is, do these actually stay on now, or they only show up when this controller is connected? Let's find out. Okay. Now I'm understanding. So this has been on controller 1. This one has been on controller 2, and then you just use the buttons to select the modes and the players and all that, and then you just use this to play. Oops. Alright, let's try again. It's been a minute since I played rotary style games. I will say though, there is a slight delay with using this thing. So it's not exactly great either. To be fair, the rotary section of this controller is not really all that great to begin with. But I mean, it does work. But yeah, that kind of gives you an idea. So let's try other games here. Maybe Berserk.
You can fight like a robot. The humanoid must not escape. You can fight like a robot.
Oh wow. Alright, player 2. Wow, this game is hard. think this is supposed to be like a sequel to like Warlords. Something tells me I'm gonna lose first. Uh-oh. No! Okay, this one's fun. Alright, let me try again. Oh, jeez. Stop going after me. Jeez. Oh, crap. Oh, come on. Really? Oh. Alright, that one's fun. But yeah, anyway, that's just a look at the 400 Mini. And I mean, say whatever you want about the price. It is well made. The UI on it is actually really good, and the fact that you can actually load up games for the other Atari systems is actually really cool. Now, could you do this through, say, like on a PC through an emulator? Yes, of course. But if you do want like a dedicated little system to play some old school Atari stuff, this is actually not a bad thing to get, honestly. Anyway, I'll end it here. Thanks for watching. Like always, have a good one. And let me know what you think down in the comments.